letters sealed in wax and left behind, not for the if, but for the architecture of what the winter might unfold to find. He wrote to each one separately and long, the particular words that particular face had always needed and been given wrong or never, now set down with careful grace. The autumn letter gives what life withheld, the words that living kept and death compelled. To his son he wrote the truth of his own fear, the moments when the father had not known, when the certainty had not been clear, and he had only pretended to have shown. He said, the strength you thought I always had was most of it the practice of the form. The rest was simply choosing not to add my doubt to yours inside the gathering storm. The autumn letter shows the father's doubt, the pretended strength that love was all about. To his daughter he wrote all the pride. He'd never learned the language to declare the admiration that had lived inside, unspoken in the ordinary care. He named the specific things she'd done, the moment at the harbor and the choice, the winter that she'd kept the household run while he was sea-bound, gave them all a voice. The autumn letter names what love did not, the specific pride that daily life forgot. To his wife he wrote the oldest things, the ones from 40 years before the now, the morning of the first of everything, the particular quality of the vow. He said, I have been more myself beside you than I could have been alone with any sea. The voyages were only half the true life. You were the other half of me. The autumn letter gives the wife the whole, the words that made the partnership complete and full. While you can, not in the autumn of the literal year, but in the season when you understand what has been left unsaid and should be clear. The words inside you now are better given, while the voice is warm and the hand is sure. Before the winter comes and you are driven past the chance to give what they deserve. words written in the living, the words of love made real through the giving. Below the shallow of the island chain, the coral grows its labyrinthine ways. The navigator who could read the vein of reef beneath the surface on the days. Not maps but memory held the coral road, the sequence of the colors in the deep, the way the current changed above its node, the shadow that the reef formations keep. The coral road is read by those who died, the deep path keeping the patient alive. She lay across the bow and read the sea, her face so close the bow wave touched her chin. She told the helmsman how the reef would be, from the color change the water held within. The green meant sand and safety for the keel, the dark brown meant the coral close below, the pale blue white the danger that was real, the bleached dead reef that gave the ship its woe. The coral reader lies above the deep and reads the colors that the shallows keep. The islanders who lived among the reef had learned the road from birth in crystal clear, the sea their avenue and their relief, their paths the coral roads they'd held for years. They watched the Norse arrive and found her twice before they taught the passage through the lane, a gift of knowledge worth more than its price of trade goods, the knowledge that would gain. The islanders teach the coral road freely, the knowledge shared makes every passage clearly. The coral grows of fingers with each year, the slowest architecture in the world, the reef that took 10,000 years to clear its path through ocean's weight and pressure hurled. We sailed across the surface of this patient building in a day that took millennia. The coral's ancient and indifferent, ancient industry beneath our keels familiar. The coral road took 10,000 years to make, we cross it in an hour for our sake. Read the coral roads of your own life's deep, the slow formations built by what has grown, the knowledge that the patient years will keep, the path beneath the surface you have known. Not the dramatic and the sudden show, but the slow accumulation of the learned, the coral patience of the year on year more, the road below the surface that was earned. The coral road is built by those who wait, the patience of the deep outlasts the great. smith made two from the same pour of iron. The crucible divided in the mold, two blades that shared an origin siren, call of the same fire's particular goal. They rang the same note when the whetstone crossed the same are singing in the morning air, as if the separation of the cost of two from one had not been fully there. The twin swords share a resonance of birth, two voices from the same original world. He gave one to his brother on the day they separated for the different coasts. He said, when you draw this blade to say the name of what you fight for, make my boast. The distance between the brothers grew immense, the years and sea and different lives between, but the twin swords held their identical sense of what the shared beginning had been seen. The twin swords keep the brothers in the bond, the iron link that distance goes beyond. A generation later the blades were found, one in the north, one in the eastern hall, by cousins who had never shared the ground of their grandfather's divided call. They brought the blades together and they rang the same note that the smith had poured that day, the iron recognition that it sang across the years and distance of the way. The twin swords recognize each other still, across the generations and the hill. The cousins swore their kinship on the note, the resonant agreement of the steel, the iron confirmation of the vote, that blood remembers what time makes less real. They parted with the bond renewed through blade, a promise carried in the singing iron, a family covenant that time had frayed, restored in the twin swords' ancient siren. The twin swords heal what distance breaks apart, the iron memory of the family's heart. There are twin swords inside the things we share, the resonance between the ones we love, the note that rings across the separate air, when distance tries to push the close enough. The shared beginning never fully fades, the common origin still sings its pitch, the iron of the family that trades its resonance across the widest ditch. The twin swords say that what is shared remains, the common note that distance never drains. They called him simple, though he was not simple. it found a different gear to run. His words came sideways with the kind of dimple of insight that the ordered minds had none. He said the things that everyone was thinking, but had decided not to say aloud. The obvious truth that kept on sinking beneath the surface of the polished crowd. The village fool sees clearly what others cannot. The simple truth the complicated forgot. Before the battle he was heard to say, with the directness of the unfiltered mind, why are we going? They will kill us, stay. The warriors laughed, but some were left behind. Those who laughed went into the ambush prepared by the enemy who'd counted on the pride of men who would not be seen to have cared for the obvious advice they had denied. The fool's warning is clearer than the wise. The unfiltered truth before the pride's disguise. He had no investment in the outcomes plan, no alliance and no reputation's weight, no ladder that he needed as a man of standing in the village or the state. So when the Jarl's new plan was clearly wrong, he said so in the middle of the feast, his voice cutting through the mead hall song with the honesty the ordered had released. The fool speaks truth because he has no stake. The ones with nothing lose nothing to forsake. The wisest Jarl I ever heard described would always ask the village fool before he made the final choice, the one prescribed. The unfiltered view he kept in store. He said the fool sees what the courtiers hide, what the advisors polish past the plain, what the interested parties have inside their need to say. The fool has no refrain. The wise Jarl consults the fool before he acts. The fool's plain view corrects the polished facts. Find the village fool inside yourself, the part that sees the obvious and plain, that will not let the obvious go to shelf of politeness or the fear of pain. The fool is not the lowest but the most honest voice inside the human crowd, the one who will not let the emperor boast of clothes when he is walking cold and proud. others left unsaid instead. 3 days out and the nets came up empty, the sea withholding what they'd sailed to take. The hold still clean and nothing more than plenty of patience and the hunger in the wake. He did not curse or rage at the empty hull. He read the sea's mood with experienced eyes, and understood the withholding's early call as information and not as a surprise. The empty net tells the fisherman more than a full one of what the sea holds in store. He brought back knowledge with the empty hold, the root of the cold current pushing through, the place where the fish had gone when the cold had moved them from the shallower blue. He plotted what the emptiness had shown, the absence being the thing with information, the nothing that the sea had daily grown into the map of where and what creation. The empty net maps where the fish have gone, the negative space that the season draws on. The village needed him as much to come back empty with the chart of where not to, as to come full. The sailor's kingdom is built from the not here and the coming true. He saved more voyages with the empty news than with the full holds of the lucky day. The where not is the navigator's clues that keeps the others from the fruitless way. The fisherman with empty nets brings gold. The negative map is worth what's bought and sold. He taught his children that the empty voyage was not the failure that the others thought. The information in the empty storage was the knowledge that the full hold brought. He said the sea teaches best when quiet. The absence in the net is the signal clear. The empty is the invitation right to read what moved and when and where from here. The empty net is the sea's honest lesson. The withholding is the purest form of blessing. Come home sometimes with the empty net and know the information you have gathered. The absence is the thing to not forget, the negative space where the knowledge is tethered. Not every effort yields the visible return. Some days the ocean gives the we're not to, and that is the most valuable to earn for the next voyage out into the blue. The empty net returns something real. The absence is the knowledge we can feel.
Left the forge at 15 in the night. The master's methods more than he could bear. The endless repetition in the tight confines of what was always done with care. He went to the Far East and found the smith who worked the metal in a different way, who folded it 10 times beyond the myth of what the northern masters used to say. The runaway apprentice finds the other school and comes back with a different master's tool. 3 years he worked the Eastern Forge and learned the method that his master had not known, the folding that the hardness had not earned, the quenching oil instead of water stone. He mastered what the East had long perfected, then turned his footsteps back to northern shore, with everything the Eastern Forge directed, living in his hands and nothing more. The runaway returns with what was needed, the knowledge from the other school that's seeded. He stood before his master at the forge, the old man who had taught him half of all. He showed the Eastern method at its gorge, of folded steel and the oil-quenching call. The master watched in silence for an hour, then took the blade and tested it himself. He felt the edge and said, "This has a power I have not made in all my years of shelf." The master learns from the runaway return. The student brings the knowledge that was earned. They work together in the forge thereafter, the old method and the new combine, the northern strength and eastern blade crafter, made something neither could have by design. The blades they made that winter were the best that any village smith had ever known. The marriage of the East and Western test in the folded iron of the combined tone. The runaway and master make together what neither could. Let your students run when they must run. The ones who need what you have not to give. The knowledge under different forge and sun is knowledge they need in order to live. And when they come back changed by what they found, do not receive them with the master's pride, but with the openness of the profound, that what they bring may be the better guide. The runaway apprentice is the gift. The student who returns gives the master's lift. 40 feet above the deck, the world was different in the way of height and wind. The sea extended further, tightly furled into the distance that the deck had thinned. He saw the storms approach 3 hours before. The helmsman at the wheel could feel the change. He saw the island rising from the shore before the others saw it in their range. The crow's nest gives the gift of early sight, the world seen farther from the greater height. The best lookouts were those who loved the height, who climbed the mast the way the raven rose, who found inside the crow's nest swaying tight, embrace of freedom that the deck not knows. They hung there in the storm without the fear that gripped the deckmen in their footing slip. The mast's sway was their cradle, cold and clear, the ocean seen from altitude's own grip. The lookout loves the height the others fear, and sees what makes the height so dear. She was the finest lookout in the fleet. Her eyes could separate the whale from wave, could read the color change that meant the beat of shallows where the keel would find its grave. She saw the enemy's sail before the mast was clearly visible to anyone below. She gave the warning with the time amassed for the ship to turn away and go. The lookout saves the ship before the threat, her early sight, the death that's never met. The view from height is worth the climb's own cost, the perspective that the deck can never give. What seems impossible from below is tossed open from above to what it is to live. The island that was hidden in the haze appears 3 hours early from the mast. The storm that seems like nothing in the days of calm takes shape as something coming fast. The crow's nest view is the gift of early knowing, the height that shows the world the way it's going. Climb above the
the level of your ordinary, the habitual perspective of the ground. Find the crow's nest of the visionary, where what is coming can be early found. Not always the physical, the height of thought, the distance from the immediate concern, the view from where the long perspectives caught, the early sight that lets the ship now turn. The crow's nest lives inside the lifted mind, the height that leaves the immediate behind. For 3 nights after she was gone, the pack that had run without the elder lead, the mourning that the forest carried on, in sound that traveled miles across the need. We heard it in the village and we knew the wolves were doing what we also did. The grief that bodies make when what was true has ended and the rest remains amid. The wolf's lament is grief without the word, the howl that every living thing has heard. Had come to this particular voice for 14 winters in the northern range. She'd guided them through the pack's uncertain choice of route and prey, and the territories change. Without her, the young ones circled wrong, the hunt disorganized and the winter hard. The pack diminished in its ancient song, the loss of her knowledge left them scarred. The pack grieves the elders' knowledge lost and counts the grief in the winter's cause. By the 4th year a new elder had emerged, the daughter of the one who'd led before. The pack's formation slowly had converged around what the inheritor knew more. But sometimes in the deepest of the cold, when the moon was full and the old roost called, the pack would howl what sounded like the old voice, the grief of what could not be recalled. The wolf pack howls for the irreplaceable, the grief for knowledge that is untraceable. The hunters who had heard the lament said it was the most human sound the wild gives, the recognition of the important dead, in the howl that says she lives though she no lives. They would not hunt the wolves for 7 days after the lament had filled the winter air, as if the moaning wolf the grace of the same space the human grief laid bare. The hunter honors the wolf's grieving time. The howl of loss is holy in its rhyme. Howl your grief when the howling needs to come. Do not refine it into the polished word. Sometimes the body needs the animal drone of the sound that bypasses what the mind preferred. The wolf's lament is honest in its form, the sound of loss without the social weight, the raw expression in the grief's own storm, before it's shaped into the acceptable state. The wolf's lament teaches what grief truly is. The howl before the poem and the bliss.
Below the longhouse in the frozen ground, he dug the cellar where the cold preserved, where what the autumn harvest had been found could last the winter, careful and conserved. The root vegetables and the salted meat, the cured fish and the dried berry strings. Ooh, the meat that needed the cold, dark, stiff heat. Ooh, of the too warm air that summer always brings. Ooh, the storm cellar holds what winter needs to eat. The below ground treasure of the cold defeat. The digging was the autumn's longest work, the frozen clay that fought the mattock's blow. He would not let the coming winter shirk the space below the hall where things would go. 3 feet below the frost line, where the ground stayed even through the year's full cold rotation. The temperature a natural wine vault found of preservation, and the patient station. The storm cellar is dug against the future, the prepared depth that serves as winter's tutor. She kept her most important things below, not just the food, but the first tools she'd owned. The letters she had saved against the slow, forgetting that the years had always owned. The cellar was the memory's cold archive, the place below the surface of the daily, where what she needed most to keep alive was held in the cold that treated things so gaily. The storm cellar is the keeper of what matters, what the above ground life accidentally scatters. In the hardest winter, when the stores above were gone by January's frozen face, the cellar's
preservation of the love she'd given to the harvest's careful case. Fed the family through the final weeks when nothing else remained above the floor. The below ground gift that the patient seeks through autumn's preparation gave them more. The storm cellar saves the life the frost would take. The preparation that keeps spring awake. Build your storm cellar in the living's depth, the below ground preservation of the good. The archive kept against the winter's theft of what you wish in spring would have withstood. The relationships preserved in the code of thoughtfulness and the regular attention. The skills and knowledge carefully controlled against the hungry winter's intervention. The storm cellar below the life holds all what feeds you through the inevitable fall. She received it on the morning of her first child's birth from her own mother's steady hand. The knife that cut the cord through worst and burst of life's arriving on the mortal land. It had been sharpened past the original steel, the blade narrower by a finger's width. Each generation's use had made it real in the way of things that carry living's myth. The grandmother's knife passes with the birth, the blade that welcomes life onto the earth. Seven mothers had received it at the cord, 7 children's first breath marked by the steel, 7 births recorded in the hoard of the knife's accumulated reel. The metal remembered in its narrow blade the generations that had worn it true, each sharpening a layer of the trade between the living and the passing through. The 7-handed knife carries 7 lives, the generations living in the night. She used it also for the daily bread. The cord and the apple were the same. The birth knife and the kitchen knife both led through the life's own ordinary claim. The sacred and the daily in one blade, the ceremony and the common meal. The same steel that a rival had been made was also what the evening's cooking feel. The grandmother's knife holds sacred and plain, the birth blade and the daily one the same. When the 8th birth came and she was old. She cleaned the blade and handed it along. She spoke the names of all the 7 told generations before. This one song, she said, this blade has held more life than I. It has been in the hand at the beginning of everyone you know beneath the sky of this family, our own beginning. The grandmother names the blade 7 births. The knife remembers all their 7 words. Keep the things that pass through many hands, the objects worn smooth by the generations, the tool that each new holder understands through the accumulated calibrations. The grandmother's knife is worth 100 new, not for the steel but for the carried weight of every hand that held it, every through and every beginning at the gate. The 7-handed knife is more than steel. It is the family's accumulated feel. It came on a Tuesday without announcement, the air shifting half a degree in cold. The particular and specific pronouncement that summer's credit had been fully sold. The birds felt it first and moved their wings in the direction of the warmer south. The animals retreating to the springs of their winter wisdom's deeper mouth. The breath of winter arrives before the snow, the air itself announcing time to go. The farmers read it in the cattle's skin, the way the coats had thickened in the week. The extra layer working its way in against the cold the animals would seek. They moved the last of what the field still held before the frost could take it in the night. They worked the harvest in the amber-felled light of autumn's final shortened rite. The breath of winter teaches those who read the body's preparation is the creed. The children felt it as a quickening, the world contracting to the hall and fire. The summer's wide and endless fashioning, replaced by the particular desire of warmth and close in the familiar smell of pine smoke and the bread and the packed in human closeness of the winter's well against the cold that had begun to win. The breath of winter draws the family in, the cold outside making the inside kin. The old women welcomed it without the dread the young men wore against the coming dark. They said the winter clarifies the dead weight of the summer's noise and leaves the mark of what is essential, stripped of what the warmth had let accumulate and stay. The breath of winter closes what was shut and opens what the summer hid away. The breath of winter clears what summer hid, the essentials showing what the warmth forbid. Welcome the breath of winter when it turns the air from the familiar summer's ease. The cold that clarifies and partly burns away the excess of the long-lit days. It comes to show you what you truly need, what can be let go and what must stay. The winter is the season of the creed, of the essential over the display. The breath of winter is the year's deep truth, the honest cold that shows the age from you.
He played the bone flute every evening through, for 40 years beside the harbor's edge. The fishermen coming in could hear the true note of the coming home beyond the ledge. They said they heard it still for years after his death, the particular frequency that made the harbor something more than rafter and plank, the sound of welcome's legacy. The bone flutes echo lives beyond the player, the note still sounding in the harbor's prayer. The note had calibrated the place itself, the water and the wood of the old dock, the particular resonance left on the shelf of the harbor's own acoustic block. The stones along the waterfront had learned to carry the frequency he'd given years. The harbor became a kind of instrument heard through decades of the music and the cheers. The harbor holds the flute player's tone. The place itself becomes the music's home. His daughter found the flute beside his chair, the bone worn smooth where decades held the grip. She raised it to her lips and felt the air that carried still the shape his breath had ripped. When she played the first note, the harbor rang with the accumulated memories sound. The decades of his playing that had sang itself into the stones along the ground. The daughter plays the harbor's memory. The stones echo what the father set free.
is particular. Evening note for decades stopped and knew. Something in the daughter's vehicular sound was carrying more than the brand new. They heard the father in the daughter's breath. The harbor recognized the frequency. The note that had outlasted even death was playing through the next immediacy. The bone flute's echo connects the generations. The same note carrying the same vibrations. The music that you make will outlast you, not in the recordings or the written note, but in the places you have carried through. The frequency of what your living wrote. The room you filled with music holds the sound beyond your presence in its wood and stone. The harbor of your life still keeps the fount vibration of the years you played alone. The bone flute's echo is your living's gift, the frequency that gives the world its lift. Were carved for war and fate. Some held the gentler power of repair. The symbol drawn above the fever state that helped the body find the healing air. She carved them on the threshold of the sick, on the bedpost and the hearthstone below. She drew them in the poultice and the thick broth that the healing herbs were made to show. Gentler than the sword, the symbol that repairs and not the hoard. She said the healing rune did not replace the herb or the hot broth or the rest, but worked with what the body and the place of sickness needed to become the best. The rune was the intention made visible, the concentration of the healer's will, the symbol that made something sensible of the invisible and the gentle still. The healing rune carries the healer's intent, the will made visible and clearly meant. Some runes were traced in air above the wound, the shape drawn with the finger in the space above the injury without the sound of word, the pure shape in its healing grace. The silence of the gesture was its power, the concentration that the spoken word would dissipate in the healing's hour, was held by the traceless touch and hurt. The healing rune traced distant silence holds the power that the spoken word unfolds. She healed her own grief with the runes one winter, drawing them in the frost on the window pane, each symbol a way of the heart's own splinter, being named and acknowledged and made plain. The rune for grief was not the rune of sorrow, it was the rune of water finding its way. The movement toward the necessary tomorrow, through the channel that the loss had made today. The healing rune for grief is water moving, the symbol of the forward and the proving. Learn one healing rune and carry it, not carved in wood but in the memory's hand. The shape you trace when what is split needs the visible intention of the plan. The symbol is the mind made into form, the intention crystallized into the clear. The healing rune can weather any storm when traced with the concentration of the sincere. The healing rune is drawn by those who care. The visible intention in the air.
Before the harbor had its iron bell, the keeper blew the great horn in the grave. A single note as vast as it would tell the blindfolded ships their deadly stay. The sound rolled outward through the bank of white, 2 miles and more across the hidden bay. The sailors heard it like a gift of light, the direction of the sound their only way. The foghorn gives what fog has taken back, the direction lost inside the white and black. He had blown it for 11 years alone, the lighthouse keeper with his leather lungs. Each fog day waking to the monotone of duty past the voice's tired rungs. He said the loneliest thing was not the dark, not the silence of the months between, but the fog days and the horn's own mark, the blowing into what could not be seen. The foghorn keeper blows for those unknown, the ships he never sees and never shown. 3 ships survived because the sound had held their course across the harbor's hidden teeth. The captain said the horn had almost felt their fear when all the night lay underneath. They came to shore and found the keeper's post
and thanked him for the voice that saved their keel. He nodded and said nothing, and the most he felt was the not knowing how they'd feel. The foghorn keeper never meets the saved. His gift is given into the engraved. The foghorn is the loneliest of arts, to speak into the grey without reply, to trust the sound will reach the needed hearts, without the confirmation of the eye. Yet every note he blew, and somewhere true, was caught by someone's terrified great ear, was used to steer through what the white fog drew, across the path of those who needed clear. The foghorn speaks without the need of response, the giving that requires no comebacks once. Be the foghorn when the world goes white. Speak clearly from your fixed and certain place. Do not wait for the confirmation's light of whether any ship receives your grace. The note that leaves you is already given, already traveling through the fog-filled air, already by some unseen sailor driven to the shore they thought was never there. The foghorn blows in faith without the proof, and keeps the ships of strangers off the roof. He mapped the coastlines no one thought to draw, the fjords too small for trade and too remote. He pressed his feet into every floor of unnamed rock and wrote what he had wrote. Not the great roads of commerce and the war, but the forgotten inlets and the creeks, the passes used by deer and nothing more, the hollows where the wind forgot to speak. The iron cartographer maps what others skip. The small places that slip through every ship. He spent 3 decades in the unnamed north, counting paces and recording each, the shadow of his staff at morning's worth, calculating what was in his reach. His hands grew gnarled around the measuring rope, his eyes stayed sharp as any blade he'd known. He traded distance for the trader's hope, and found the world more wide than any shown. The iron cartographer trades the hall for the road. His home is the unmapped and the cold abode. The maps he made saved 30 ships at least. The hidden reef marked clear in the red ink. The shallow passage north and south and east, where captains had let confidence not think. He asked no credit and no silver coin. He left the maps at harbors as he passed. He said the knowledge is the thing to join the sailors and the coast. I am the last. The iron cartographer gives without the name. The map, the gift, the maker without claim. His final map was drawn while dying slow, the details still precise beneath the pain. He corrected what the earlier maps did show and left the record sharper than the strain. The last mark on the last map was across his own position in the final hour. He placed himself inside the coastal moss as one more feature of the northern power. The iron cartographer maps his own ending. The final feature, honest and unbending. Now map what you have walked and not what others have already drawn in praise and fame. The unmapped country is the gift that bothers no one yet. The place without a name. The small and the forgotten and the past are waiting for the one who stops to draw. The knowledge of the intimate that lasts beyond the celebrated and the raw. The iron cartographer serves the unknown and makes of the forgotten his own home. She had been born when the world was harder still, before the trade road softened what had been. The absolute necessity of will against the cold that kept the hunger clean. She'd watched 3 generations soften past the hardness of the first necessity, and held herself against the time's contrast as the standard of the iron decree. The iron grandmother was made by harder years and holds the standard past the softened fears. She did not grudge the younger ones their ease. She knew the ease was what the heart had bought. The comfort was the consequence to please of all the suffering that she had wrought. But she kept sharp the knowledge of the heart inside herself, so it would not be lost. The winter wisdom and the frozen yard of living, and the real and total cost. The iron grandmother is the hard years heir, the living memory of what was there. The stories without the soft edit, the ones that showed the worst of what had been. The famine and the loss without the credit of the heroic frame to make it clean. She said, this is what it was, exactly this. The cold, the hungry, and the ones we lost. The ordinary and the particular bliss of the small good things against enormous costs. The Iron Grandmother tells the truth, unframe the hard years as they were, and not rename. The young men who had gone to her for wisdom had expected the soft comfort of the age, the reassurance of the elders' kingdom, that everything would work out and be staged. Instead she gave them what she had herself, the practical and the specific and the clear. She pulled the truth directly off the shelf, without the wrapping that would make it dear. The Iron Grandmother gives hard truth with love, the gift of clarity from hard years above. When she was gone, the village felt the absence, not as the grief for the soft and the kind, but as the loss of a particular dense and honest weight that kept the village lined. The plumb line that had told the true from false, the iron measure of the standard held, the one who would not let the village waltz past what was real into what had compelled. The Iron Grandmother's absence makes the gap, the honest weight that kept the village's mad. Ironwood grows where other trees refuse, in the rocky and the cold and thin soiled place. Its grain so tight it will not bend or bruise. Under the same conditions iron would face. The throne he carved from it took 7 years. One winter's work when other work was still. Each year another surface that appears from the long patience of the carver's will. The ironwood throne outlasts the jarl who sits, the hardest wood for where authority fits. The scenes he carved were not of battles fame, not the raiding ships or the enemy slain. He carved the seasons in their endless game, the harvest birth, the winter, spring's refrain. The throne that held the leader of the hall was surrounded by the ordinary round. The reminder carved in every fall of the tree that what the power is found. The ironwood throne shows the Jarl what matters. The seasons round that every power scatters. 3 Jarls sat in it through the centuries, each one receiving what the wood had held. The grain that spoke its own accountabilities to those who felt it as they sat and knelt. The first Jarl had the hubris and the throne, wore him down to the humanity he'd lost. The second found in it the carved-in tone of service and the understanding's cost. The ironwood throne teaches through the city, the carved reminder always fitting. The wood itself had memory of its growing, the rings of drought and plenty in the grain, the years of good and bad in the showing of density across the hardwood plain. The Jarl who learned to read the wood's own rings could feel 100 years of what the tree had witnessed in its grain, the things that power and the ordinary see. The ironwood grain holds a century's record, the hardwood's honest and its own accord. Build your authority from ironwood, the kind that took the hardest soil to grow. The leadership that could withstand and should the seasons that the comfortable won't know. The ironwood throne is earned by iron years, not by inheritance or lucky birth. The hardest wood grows from the hardest fears and proves its worth in the most testing earth. The ironwood throne holds those the heart has made, the authority that will never fade. The blade owes everything to the smith's hand, the fire that taught it what it could become. The hammer glows that helped it understand its own best shape within the iron's hum. Before the forge it was the shapeless ore, the unformed potential of the earth. It was the fire and hand that made it more than what the ground had given it at birth. The blade owes its existence to the forge, the debt of iron to the maker's gorge. And so the warrior owes the blade in turn the care of daily sharpening and oil, the scabbard that protects from rust's return, the respect that keeps the metal from the soil. The blade that is neglected dulls and pits, it loses what the forge had given it. The debt unpaid corrodes in all the bits of what the fire had made the benefit. The warrior owes the blade its proper care, the debt of use is daily kept with prayer. The debt runs further back than smiths can see, to the mountain that released the ore, to the rain that fed the
tree to be. The charcoal in the forge is burning coal. The blade is made of sky and rock and rain, of the deep earth's long metallic dream, of the craftsman's art and labor's vain effort and success beside the gleam. The blade's debt runs to the mountain's heart, the ore, the rain, the fire, and the art. We are all the debt of iron in the end, made from the elements that came before, shaped by the fires that the years could send, hammered into form by what we bore. We owe the debt to those who made us whole, the parents and the teachers and the place, the culture and the cold that shaped the soul, the particular forge of time and space. The debt of iron is owed to all who made the element, the fire, and the blaze. Pay the debt of iron through your use, the daily sharpening and the proper care, the honoring of what made you, by the truce of living what the forge had put in there. The blade that honors all that made it true, holds its edge across the years of use. The warrior who remembers who came through, the debt gives back what the forge let loose. The debt of iron is paid in living well, the blade that serves its making has a tale to tell.
Her hands had held 1,000 lives at first, the slippery beginning of the breath. She'd guided through the labor and the worst, the passage between the nothing and the death, of not yet living into the first cry, the sound that broke the silence of the before. She'd been the first to see the opening eye of those who would become the village's more. The midwife's hands hold what life begins, the first touch in the world outside that wins. She'd lost some to the ones the passage took, despite the knowledge in their hands and the lore. She carried them inside a private book of names that she alone would long adore. She did not let the losses stop the work. She learned from each the thing it had to teach. She did not let the grief and dark berserk her into stopping what remained in reach. The midwife carries all the life she's lost and serves despite the cost. She said the most important thing she knew was not the turning of the baby's head, not the cutting of the cord when through, or even the recognition of the dread. It was the quality of calm she held inside the room that fear had occupied, the steady presence that could not be felt by what the crisis sent from either side. The midwife's greatest tool is her own calm, the steadiness that soothes the raging storm. At night before the sleep she blessed each one she'd helped into the world in all her years, the living and the ones whose lives were done before they saw the northern sun through tears. She said their names in the old way carefully, each one a separate and individual prayer. The 1,000 lives she'd held, the yearly accounting of the trust placed in her care. The midwife names her 1,000 charges nightly, the prayer that keeps the sacred work held rightly. Honor those who hold the threshold work, the midwives and the death companions both, the ones who do not from the edges shirk of life and death, but hold the binding oath. They stand where few will stand and hold the gate between the worlds with open practiced hands. They make the passage bearable and great, the holy work of those who understand. The midwife's hands hold what none can replace, the threshold guardian of the human race.
Every other star moves through the nights, are rising and setting on their separate trails. But one point holds the center of the dark, the fixed axis around which heaven sails. The North Star is the nail that holds the sky, the pin around which all the stars rotate, the one that will not move however high the season or the year or the debate. The North Star's promise is absolute, the one still point at the dark's own root. We found our position by triangulation, the angle of the pole star to the depth, the mathematical celebration of the fixed point and the moving wreck. The star that would not move gave us the way, the compass that required no magnetic, just the eye raised to the northern air, and the angle measured, cold prophetic. The North Star is the navigator's anchor, the fixed point from which all positions flank. most patient place. She said the bear's own front will always take you to the nail that holds the sky in space. The mother gives the children the North Star, the fixed point that will guide them near and far. The North Star is not the brightest in the field. Many stars outshine it on a clear night's view. But brightness is not what the navigator yields to. Position is the thing more true. The second magnitude star that holds its place is worth more than the first magnitude's grand. Brilliant arc that moves across the face of heaven with no fixed and certain stand. The North Star teaches constancy over shine, the fixed and humble over the divine. Find the North Star of your life and hold, not the brightest or the most admired, but the fixed point that will not grow cold or move away however you are tired. The constant principle that holds its place when everything around it arcs and shifts. The nail that holds the turning sky space, the still point in the center of the drifts. The North Star's promise is the same each night, the fixed and faithful guide in every flight.
The first law of the hall was the open gate. The stranger at the door received the bread, the fire and the shelter and the plate, before the asking of the name and bed. The guest was sacred in the older code, the one who came from far and cold and hard, was Odin's tester what the household showed of its true nature, kept within the yard. The open gate is the house's first offering. The bread before the question is the thing. She kept the gate open through the worst years, the famine, winter, and the plague's dark run, when others locked against the nameless fears of those who came from where the suffering had done. She fed them from the cellar's careful store. She gave them what she had and kept the name of everyone who sheltered at her door, and added it to the household's book of fame. The open gate feeds the village through the worst. The one who gives last is the one quenched first. The jarl who closed his gate against the need was spoken of for generations low. the hall that would not shelter those who believe. From the cold was the hall without the glow. No saga celebrated what he built. No skull composed a verse of what he held. The silver hoarded without the spilt. Of welcome was the story never felt. The closed gate is the hall without a soul. The silver kept, but the story never whole. The open gate required the calculation of what you had against what others need. The wisdom of the generous preparation that made the giving possible indeed. She did not give the last of what she owned. She kept enough to keep the giving going. The open gate required the long-term loan, perspective of the sustainable bestowing. The open gate is wisdom about giving, the sustainable generosity of living. Keep your gate open in the way you can, not past the ruin of the givenness, but to the measure of the fuller plan that keeps the giving as the business. The hall whose gate is open earns the name of the place that travelers seek in the cold. The hall whose gate is closed earns just the same reputation in the stories told. The open gate is the hall's own living soul, the welcome that makes every stranger whole. Before the village stirred to light, before the children woke and the fires caught, he slipped into the pre-dawn dark and right, to where the boat was waiting taut. The oars went in without a sound of wake. The hull moved through the mirror of the bay. The morning row he took for his own sake, before the day could take itself away. The morning rower claims the dawn before the day. The hour before demand has had its say. He fished sometimes, but mostly did not fish. The rowing was the thing and not the catch. The particular quality of the wish, fulfilled by the motion and the match of ore and water in the quiet first light of the world becoming visible before the sun had fully slaked the thirst of night. The liminal and sensible, the morning water going. His wife knew not to speak when he returned. The quiet was still in him from the water. He needed the transition time to burn away the dawn's particular taut border. She fed him the silence of the morning and let the day come in its own good time. The ritual respected without scorning the space between his water and the rhyme. The morning rower returns with what he found, the self he lost in the daily's grinding ground. 30 years the morning row had held the center of himself against the press of what the days and seasons had compelled. Through the necessary and the excess, he said there is no problem that the ore does not improve upon the going out. No grief the water does not help restore. No doubt the morning bay does not rout. The morning row is 30 years of truth, the water giving back the lost of youth. Find your morning row before the day, the thing you do in the still before demand, the motion that the spirit needs to say its peace before the social makes a stand. The morning hour belongs to who you are before the roles that fill the later light. The self before the near becomes the far. The quiet motion in the pre-dawn right. The morning row is yours before the day. The self retrieved from where the nights have laid.
He walked the mountain with the shepherd's staff, not for the walking though it served the hill, but for the crook that could reach and then half turn the wandering sheep against its will. The gentle tool that guided without the blade, the curve of iron at the staff's own head, was the shepherd's argument that swayed without the violence of the cattle's dread. The shepherd's staff guides with the gentle hook, not the sword but the curve of the crook. Also as the weapon when the wolf came from the tree line in the night. The same staff that had guided the sheep then became the barrier in the fight. The crook that drew the wanderer back to fold could strike the wolf across the snapping jaw.
The gentle tool made fierce when things were bold, the dual nature of the shepherd's law. The shepherd's staff is gentle and is fierce, the guide that also pierces. Watched him chose to test the weak, the lamb that had been limping at the back. He'd seen the shepherd reading in the creek bedstones and thought the moment had the lack. The staff had not been visible at rest against the shepherd's back in the grey light, but when the wolf had lunged and done its test, the staff was there before the wolf's own bite. The shepherd's staff protects without display, the quiet guardian of the flock's own way. The best shepherds were the ones whose flocks stayed whole through every season's test, not through the warrior's fame or the blocks of enemies, but the daily vigilance's best. They knew each animal by name and mark. They knew the ones most likely to stray. They walked the perimeter in the dark and counted nightly what the mornings say. The shepherd's art is daily, unnamed, knowing the intimate attention always showing. Be the shepherd of what you have been given, the vulnerable and the ones who stray, the gentle guide and the fierce when driven, protector of the ones who cannot say. The shepherd's staff is not a warrior's blade, it is the gentle hook of daily care, the instrument the patient hands have made to guide and guard the ones most in your care. The shepherd's staff is leadership most true, the guiding and the guarding of the few.
They came in millions in the autumn sea, the silver flash of herring in the bay, the ocean surface writhing endlessly, the gift that fed the winter on its way. The birds came first to mark where they had turned, the gannets diving in their white bolt fall. The fishermen read what the birds had earned, the knowledge of the bountiful land all. The silver fish arrives and feeds the north, the annual abundance rushing forth. The whole village came to the salt work then, the barrels stacked along the harbor's face, the women and the children and the men all working through the blessing of the grace, the gutting and the brining and the press of bodies into the salt barrels, tight confined and fermented darkness, less than beautiful but essential to the night. The herring salt work feeds the winter through, the whole village working what the sea gave true. The smell of the herring season filled the air a mile from the harbor. In every wind the children who had grown inside it there called it home and carried it within. The ones who traveled far and came back said the smell was the first thing that told them home. Before the view, before the harbor's dread of familiarity, the salt and foam, the herring smell is the smell of the return, the particular home that the traveler will yearn. The run was different every year in where the shows had chosen to present themselves. The reading of the signs, the birds, the air, the water's color, put on living shelves. In the bad years when the herring did not come, the village faced the winter thin and scared. The abundance taken for the annual sum of the fish's gifts suddenly not shared. The herring teaches the wisdom of the good year. The abundant gift is never without fear. Give thanks for the silver fish when it arrives, the abundance that the sea has chosen to send. For the generous seasons of our lives are the gift that the generous give and lend. The herring run is the ocean's offering, the annual reminder of the vast abundance that the patient and the suffering north receives. When the season holds the mass, the silver fish feeds the north through winter's bite. The ocean's silver gift against the night. Passage in the race, the current between the islands ran too fast. No sail could hold the line in the narrow space where the competing tides ran first and last. So he swam it when the message could not wait. The tide swimmer who had learned the current's way, who timed the crossing for the slack water gate, between the racing floods of night and day. The tide swimmer crosses what the boat cannot, the body given to the current slot. He learned the race by swimming it in youth. 100 crossings before he earned the trust of the two communities whose truth required the faster messenger adjust. He read the waters boil and the back eddies pull against the main flood's driving force. He found the lines that no one's eye was ready to see but his, the swimmer's hidden course. The tide swimmer finds the line the current made, the hidden path through what the tide displayed. 3 times the news he carried changed the war, arriving hours before the boat could come. 3 times the messages arriving bore the decision time that turned the outcome some. He crossed in darkness and in daylight both, in winter cold that made the other turn. He crossed with the particular flat oath of those who have a singular concern. The tide swimmer serves a single purpose clear, the message that must cross without the fear. In the current school, not with instruction but by swimming beside. He let her feel the racing waters rule before he named the line where swimmers ride. She crossed the race at 12 and felt the pull that had almost taken her sideways wide. She felt the line that cut the current full and found the way the body must reside. The tide swimmer teaches by the crossing shared, the knowledge felt before the name is aired. There are currents in your life that no boat crosses, the racing channels of the necessary now. The speed matters more than the tide's own losses, and only the body's full surrenders vow. Find the slack water gate between the floods, the brief stillness between competing poles, and take the message through the channel's goods. When the current briefly holds and lulls, the tide swimmer goes when the gate is open, the window brief and quickly broken. Ship that had sailed for 30 years was beached above the tide line in the fall. The hull that had outlasted all the fears was finally beyond the sea's own call. The caulking could not hold another year. The ribs had flexed beyond the last repair. The ship that had been sound and without fear was done with the impossible sea air. The last berth is earned by those who sailed it, the honor of the ship that never failed it. They did not burn her as they burned the jar. She had done her burning in the decades of service in the salt and cold and gnarl of the northern sea's most demanding raid. grasses grow along the hull until the village used her timber for the hall. The winter's show required the ship's wood serving, not confused. The last berth ship becomes the hall and home. The seaward service past the salt and foam. The children who had played on her dry hull would know her wood in every hall they'd use. The particular grain and the pull of a plank that had been planed by ocean's use. She gave herself to the land as she had given to the sea, completely and without reserve. The ship that lived was also death forgiven in the transformation of the hall's preserve. The ship becomes the hall it once had served. The voyage ends in the home well deserved. Some said the hall had something of the ship inside its walls on stormy nights. In winter, a sound of creaking in the timber's grip, the ghost of the sea in the woods on splinter. The hull would move as if the wind had caught a sail no longer there, but still remembered the ship's ghost in the planks that time had wrought into the stillness of the shore's own timber. The ship's ghost lives inside the hall's own wood. The voyage remembered as it should. Every life reaches its own last birth, the place above the tide line drawn by age, where what has sailed the measure of its worth is pulled to rest upon the final page. Do not grieve the last birth as a failure. The ship that served its full 3 decades true has earned the grass and the hall's own tailor of its timber into something new. The last birth is the life made into home. The voyage ended, the ship no longer alone. Twice in a century the tide gives back what the sea has borrowed and forgotten. The bodies from the years of the attack on the great cliffs risen and softly gotten. They arrive at dawn without announcements, laid out along the shore in patient rows, as if the sea had managed the pronouncement of the long debt finally owed. The tide of debt returns the borrowed souls. The sea gives back what it no longer holds. The old women who remembered every name of the ones who'd sailed and not come home would walk the tide line as the morning came and read the faces of the ocean's foam. She found her brother in the 20th year, preserved in ways the cold and deep had made. She sat beside him in the morning clear and spoke the words the living had not said. The tide of death gives back the last goodbye, the words that grief had held since years gone by. The village held the burial for each one found, however many years the sea had kept. They gave each returned body sacred ground and held the grief they'd thought had long been slept. For grief does not respect the calendar, it wakes when given what it needs to wake. The tide of death is also the particular permission to grieve for the dead's own sake. The tide of death gives grief its proper time, the delayed permission and the final rhyme. The strangest thing was those who did not come, the ones the sea refused to give to shore, the families waiting in the winters numb for what the sea kept in its deepest store. The ocean keeps some things beyond the law of lending and returning debt and due. Some are held by what the sea in its maw found too precious for the surface's view. The sea keeps some souls in its deepest keep. Some dead belong to the ocean's sleep. Grieve as long as grieving needs to last. Do not set a calendar to loss. The tide of death comes when it comes, not past. A prescribed hour of the accounted cost. The sea returns what it is ready to return. The heart releases when releases do. There is no shame in the continuing burn of what the tide has not yet given through. The tide of death teaches grief's own clock. The ocean's time, not the calendar's lock. He built the mill where the tide ran in and out. The sluice gates catching what the ocean gave. The twice daily power turning without doubt, the wheel that ground the grain beyond the nave. The sea gave freely what the wind might not, its rhythm fixed by the moon's reliable pull. He built his mill where the predictable slot of the tides returning kept the wheel full. The tidal mill runs on the ocean schedule. The rhythm of the moon made granular. The miller who worked the tidal rhythm had to think in the ocean's time, not the day's sun. He ground at midnight when the tide was glad, and rested at the noon when it was done. His body calibrated to the moon. He slept in the gaps between the tidal runs. He ate when the ocean gave him the boom of the slack water's pause between the suns. The tidal miller lives by the moon's own clock, his body tuned to the ocean's tick and tock. The flour from the tidal mill was different. The other millers said, though none could say, what made the grinding of the indifferent ocean-powered wheel produce a different way. Perhaps the rhythm of the lunar pull had given the grain a quality of deep, a quality the wind-driven and the full rush of the river could not hope to keep. The tidal flower carries the ocean's gift, the moon's own rhythm in the grain's own lift. He taught his grandson in the old way through the night when the tide was running at its best. He showed him how the sluice gate opened true, and how the timing was the miller's test. Not forcing what the tide would not provide, but working with the ocean's twice-day gift, opening the gates to let the water ride, and closing when the rhythm gave the shift. The tidal miller works with, not against. The ocean's schedule is the mill's own sense. Work with the tides of what your life provides, the twice daily gifts of the renewable, the rhythm of the natural that abides beyond the forcing of the unsuitable. The tidal mill reminds the builder's art that power freely given by the patient world is worth more than the straining at the cart of what is not yet naturally unfurled. The tidal mill runs on the given gift, the ocean's rhythm providing every lift. names were everywhere he went. The cape that jutted without identity, the inlet that the currents bent, the hill that held no name's affinity. He felt the wrongness of the unnamed place, the way the mind slipped over what had no word to hold it in the naming space, the friction of the unacknowledged flow. The maker of names gives the unnamed its word. The place becomes real when it can be heard. He named from what the place itself provided. The red cliff was the red cliff in his tongue. The two-tree hill was what the land decided by the pair of birches when they were young. He did not impose the Jarl's name or his own. He listened to what the landscape said itself. He gave back to each place the name it grown by its own nature on the naming shelf. The maker of names listens before he names. The place gives its own word when asked its claims. The names he gave became the navigation, the captain asking for the red cliffs bare, the farmer asking for the creek formation of the twisting waters curving there. The named world was the navigable world. The unnamed was the place you could not share. The name was the relationship unfurled between the human and the what was there. The name makes the place into the known. The unnamed cannot be given as a loan. He named the difficult ones with care. The whirlpool that had taken lives he called, not what it looked like, but what living there required of those who entered and were hauled. The patient spooling named the grinding current for what it taught the sailor who survived. The cold bay was the honest and concurrent with what the swimmer felt who had arrived. The maker of names gives character to place, the difficult named for what survives the race. Name what you love before the love is gone, the particular hill and the specific tree, the bend in the creek where you have always gone, the exact light of the particular sea. The named place is the place you can return to. The unnamed is already half forgotten. Give everything you cherish a word to earn through the unmemorable and the rotten. The maker of names preserves what matters most. The named place lives longer than the unnamed ghost. bent in the spring flood, and offered up their long and pliable shoots. She cut them at the margin of the mud, and carried them back from the water's roots. She soaked them in the barrel overnight, and worked them in the morning when they gave the flexibility of the waters right, to bend without the breaking in the nave. The willow braid makes baskets from the river, the water's own wood as the gift giver. Her hands knew which way each strand would go, the grain of it telling her before she placed whether the weave would tighten or would flow. Around the curve she'd need to have it graced, not thinking through the fingers but the sense of decades in the willow's own instruction. The body knowing past the brain's pretense of mastery, pure tactile construction. The willow weaver's hands know before the mind the body's mastery of the river's kind. She made the cradles first for every birth, the basket weave that held the village young. She made the storage for the winter's worth, the bread baskets from which the morning hung, the fishing creels and the backpack frames, the chair seat woven for the oldest one. She put her willow into all the names of daily life beneath the northern sun. The willow braid holds the daily life together, the cradle and the basket through each weather. The willow grows back from the cutting's womb, the cut shoot sending up a dozen more. The harvest of the basket makers found, the more you take the more the river's store. She pruned with the knowledge that the taking gave back tenfold in the following year. The generosity of the basket making willow that thrived on being given clear. The willow gives more when it is well cut, the harvested opens what the ungiven shut. The willow braid teaches the patient art of working with what bends and not what breaks, the strength of the flexible from the heart of the river wood that the basket maker takes. Not all the useful things are iron hard, some of the strongest hold is in the give. The willow basket and the ironwood shard are both needed for the way we live. The willow braid is strong because it bends. The flexible basket never truly ends.